Cast from meteorologist Nakandra Norwood.
It is a beautiful afternoon. We've got blue sky, lots of sunshine, and temperatures are on the warm side, but look at this dew point, 66, which means it doesn't feel as bad. So even though we're in the 90s and we're going to see those mid-90s through the afternoon, the lower humidity takes the edge off just a little bit. We're 90 at Gramercy right now, as well as Lockport. Homa coming in at 86. As you look into the metro area, we've got those temperatures that are hovering right around the 90-degree mark. Gretna at 91 there. And then north of Lake Pontchartrain, remember we started off the morning a little bit cooler. Our temperatures mid-60s early this morning have warmed up to some of the hottest temperatures now in the low 90s, 93 at Folsom, 94 at Nikkei. That's the way it works because the drier air, it can cool down at night and it can heat up a lot more efficiently during the day. And with this northerly breeze, well, we're going to keep the drier air around, not just for today, through the whole weekend and really into most of next week. So we got a great view here from our City Park camera. Noma looking good. You got a little bit of haze on the horizon. That's an indication. That's why we have that air quality alert in place. Now, just means that a lot of the pollutants, the exhaust and all that just get stuck closer to the ground when you have the high pressure in place and the hot temperatures. You know, it doesn't mix the air up as much as it should. It usually would be able to rise, but that high pressure keeps that from happening. So if you have any kind of breathing sensitivities, they're saying, okay, well, maybe be careful with the outdoor exercise and that kind of thing. Otherwise, we're looking pretty good. The muggy meter on the drier side here, the 60s for dew points in the middle of the day. Our relative humidity, it's coming in low and not a lot of moisture and really nothing to uplift. So we're going with no rain chances right through the 7-day and maybe even beyond. I think it's the following weekend before we even start getting a hint at a shower back in the forecast. So for this weekend, be ready for the dry heat. And I talked about getting rid of the umbrellas earlier, but maybe again, you might want to keep that for shade because that's what we're going to have over the weekend. Lots of sunshine. You're going to want to stick with the sunblock. Make sure you're still staying hydrated because even though it's dry and it doesn't feel quite as oppressive, that heat will still get you, especially with the sun. Now, checking out our future scan. Winds staying a little bit more northerly, northeasterly. This model's been trying to pop up a little shower here or there. I know because it is so hot. And, you know, dew points in the 60s is not incredibly dry. It's drier, but you still got a little bit of moisture to work with. But I think it's going to be so difficult to get anything going. So could something bubble up along the coast at some point tomorrow afternoon? Are we going to see a lot widespread lasting a long time? No. Everything is going to stay mostly dry. And with the upper levels coming in with that drier conditions as well, well, that's how it's working out. You're going to be seeing that high pressure overhead, the sinking air, and this just sticks with us. Watch how this high fluctuates through today, tomorrow, Sunday, keeping us in the northerly flow and then keeping the sinking air in place. The tropics, you know, we are, yes, still right at that peak of the tropical season. September 10th was the statistical peak. So usually you expect to have some action. There's nothing out there. Now, I know you say, well, wait, there's a big orange blob. That is an area for potential development. Yes, National Hurricane Center is saying we're going to watch this, giving it a medium chance that we'll see development as we go through the next 7 days. But look at where the wave is. Just barely coming off the coast of Africa. So that's 2+ weeks of travel time for whatever manages to make its way out. And then is it going to develop? Do we actually see a tropical depression or storm? Because remember, everybody was saying, oh, Gabrielle is coming, Gabrielle is coming. And that last wave was a high potential and then it hit poor conditions and no Gabrielle yet. So we'll see how that works out. High school football tonight looking really good. Temperatures are going to slowly fall from those 90s into the 80s. You got a long football weekend you're planning. Maybe you're heading up to Hammond. Mississippi Valley is going to be visiting Southeastern there. And it might not be too bad. By 6 o'clock, you know, the sun angle will be a little bit lower. We're talking upper 80s. Do not want to be in Missouri. We're going to be under the heat of the day in that stadium. Any folks support the Raging Cajuns, make sure that they are staying good. Southern looking good out in California. 70-degree weather there. That's a big difference. And then You get a benefit of a night game for Tulane. LSU is in the evening as well, but I know y'all gonna be out there tailgating in the middle of the heat.
It doesn't matter that it's at 6:30. They're going to be out there first thing in the morning.
Yeah. So be careful about that. But you know, overall, this is a great forecast as long as you manage that heat well, get in the shade, take those breaks.
It feels pretty good in the dome typically.
Well,
so
you
don't have to worry about the heat there.
Well, we still tailgate outside, Champion Square. You know,
Yeah.
we want good weather for that.
All right, use the umbrella for the sun. Thanks, Sakandra.